All right, welcome back. It's Thursday, November 4th. We are back with another episode of Diamonds in the Rough from our hometowns. Schnelly, how's
Let's
that
go.
Indiana air?
What?
How's that Indiana air?
Oh, it's beautiful. Drove 15, 16 hours Saturday into Sunday morning. Finally got home, enjoying some time with the fiance. Officially wedding month for me, so some exciting stuff going on for me. Yeah, I'm excited. November 27th, I say I do. So shout out to Carly Durr.
Nice. I'm sure you have a ton of responsibilities leading up to it.
Oh yeah, she left me with all the responsibilities.
Yeah,
she's gonna kill. If she listens to this, she's gonna kill me. She's gonna be like, "You didn't do a dang thing, son."
All right. Well, we got some stuff planned. We have our first segment, Who's Slumping of the Week. And then we have a really special guest, a top two pitcher to come out of Georgia in the past few years, Emerson Hancock. So let's get right into it. Let's roll.
Headed down to the neon lights, it's where I want to be, cause I'm just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it.
All right, boys. Had a few interactions with our first one, so hoping we can get off the ground with this next one. We brought in the big guns, brought in Emerson Hancock, so I'm sure you are looking forward to that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we want to get started with our first segment. We're gonna do a little Who's Slumping. We're gonna go through, and it's not who's slumping as a player, it's who's slumping as a whole. And you'll see. We're not gonna call out slumpers. Don't worry, Chanel, we're not gonna call out slumpers on you.
Yeah, no worries. It's all right. I'm not slumping. I'm just taking a chill pill. You know, I didn't want to go off. You know, I didn't want to give. I didn't want to show them everything.
I wasn't referring to anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, why don't you lead us off?
All right, first one we got is baseball player gets bit by a bear while sitting in a tree stand. I think his name was Dalton Roach. I think he's with the Cardinals. Now, how about that? You're sitting in a tree stand. You're just looking for a big buck. And all of a sudden, you turn around and you got a bear right there. I'm pretty sure he said, like, he didn't even feel it either. He said he got up and he realized someone said he was bleeding from behind. And he was like,
yeah, dude. Oh, I mean, this guy's like a must get on the show because
have to have
he said that he saw the bear and within 15 seconds, it was climbing up his tree, which makes sense. And he said he could feel it breathing on the back of his neck and his paw was on his lap. So he said he stood up, made himself really big, and the bear got back down. And by the time he calmed down, called his buddy, he was blood soaked. He never even felt it, but it bit him right on the back. Insane. That's
well, I'm a bear expert. You're probably not surprised. No. Black bears usually aren't very aggressive, so I'm sure when you see a bear, like if it's like coming at you, you're just supposed to get big. So he did everything he was supposed to. But my thing is, how do you not feel it bite you in the back?
Yeah, but
his adrenaline.
Serious adrenaline. But I mean, like anything, I don't think it was trying to attack him, but it climbed up his tree unknowingly. He didn't really know he was there probably. And once it got up there and he starts standing up, acting big, he just freaked it out.
I mean, on my drive home, I almost hit a deer with my car and my adrenaline was pumping. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, you're going through God's country when you did that, huh?
Oh yeah. Chat nasty, baby.
Chat nasty. Yeah, those deers are a liability around here. There ain't no doubt about it.
Oh yeah.
That's insane though. What's his name?
Dalton Roach. Yeah, we need to reach out to him, get him on here.
Have to. That's insane. A bear and coach, I can't play today. Wow, I freaking got bit by a bear. That's it.
Why are you out for the next couple of days? Got bit by a bear. What'd you say?
Imagine you're walking into like the hospital, right? Urgent care, and you're like, "What's your reason for your visit?" I got bit by a bear.
Yeah. I'm honestly chilling. I didn't even know it bit me.
Yeah.
They're freaking out.
You said what? You got bit by what? They probably are like, no, you didn't. Why are you here?
Yeah, bro, look.
Stop BSing.
Nice. All right, Shook. Who's slumping this week?
This is who's slumping. This is number one, no debate. PETA is absolutely slumping.
Here's my stance on PETA.
PETA is slumping.
Here's my stance on PETA. Either they're in a lifetime slump or they are content geniuses.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I
they
think
get
it
the
might be
people
number
talking.
two.
It might be. It honestly
might be
be
number two.
Because there's no way you go that cold for that long.
Mm-mm.
But let's be real, though. Arm barn? Kind of
The limb gym.
I love
The
it.
limb gym.
The limb gym.
There's a lot of stuff you could mix it up. But
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to use bullpen if we don't want to. Or, I mean, we can figure something out. The limb gym, arm barn. What else? You got what?
Fire
what
station.
Fire. Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
I feel like it should be up to the teams to come up with their bullpen name.
That would be
Every
sick.
team gets their own bullpen.
That would
name.
actually
That
be
would be
sick.
sick.
Like
I'm all
the
in on
Browns
that.
have the dog pound. We're going to talk about Cleveland here in a minute, I feel like. But like I'm trying to think of like how you could like form it up.
That would be sick, actually.
That's the best idea I've heard so far. Like, can you imagine each team and having their own like announcer being like, and being called out of the whatever, the arm bar.
All right, Chanel, let me give you 3 teams.
All right.
And you give me a bullpen name for them.
All right, hold on. I need to lock in because I don't want there to be big pauses. I want to be first thing off my mind.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's what I want. I want straight Schnelly here. I don't want anything filthy.
Right.
The St. Louis Cardinals.
I've got one.
The birdcage.
I was thinking the Birdcage.
I was thinking the perch. So
Yeah.
I actually surprised myself there. I like that one.
Let's do. We got Emerson coming on. Seattle Mariners. You gotta get rain in there somehow.
I was gonna say from the wave.
From the wave.
From the wave, like by the water. I don't know.
Tidal wave.
The tidal wave. I'm trying to think of how to make it sound like you're calling someone out. The submarine. The boat.
That'd be nasty if they had like a Tyler Rogers in the bullpen.
Yeah, that'd be sick. The boat.
One more. The Boston Red Sox. That was tough.
I was gonna say dog pound, but I was trying to think of something like Sandlot-ish because
Yeah.
I mean I don't know why that doesn't.
Shit, that was an 80 grade idea though.
Yeah, that's the best idea I've heard about it.
All right, and you hit on it. My who's slumping of the week is the Cleveland Guardians. They are being sued by the Cleveland Guardians rollerblading team for their
roller
name.
derby. Don't be
Roller
disrespectful
derby.
to them.
there's a
that's
Cleveland
incredibly
Guardians
insensitive of me.
roller derby team.
There is, and me and Schnelly were looking at it the other day. Just go check out the images. Look up.
Yeah, look up roller. No. Just look up roller derby and go to the Google images.
So
I'm
I
doing
will
that
say
right now.
this. I'm a big MLB The Show guy and NHL guy. So when
You would smack Schnell, by the way. He's terrible.
I'm probably my team on Diamond Dynasty is elite. I've never grinded so hard on a video game. Shout out to Joe Goblo and Dylan Paulson because I was staying with I had my own place, but I was going over to their place every single day.
At our place.
But I was staying at their place, and for probably maybe a week, at least 3 or 4 days, was just playing the show. I hadn't played in so long since the game came out, and Paulson kept trying to help me, and I kept being like, "No, like I'm done. I'm not. I don't want your help.
I've ever heard.
I
This
don't
team
want
was
your help.
garbage.
I don't want your help. I'm gonna play with this team. I'm just playing to have fun." 3 days go by. Paulson, how do I get my team better?
He's logging 17 hours a day.
And I was grinding. I mean, I got back from the field at 1. There was one day I got back from the field at noon. I didn't get off the couch until, what was it? Like
I'd already
9?
went to sleep.
Yeah,
9.
maybe 11. Maybe 11. It was almost a 12-hour day.
It was past midnight, brother.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I got up. I let Paulson play one game, and then I sat back down.
All right, wait. So roller derby is is it a competition? It looks like a competition.
Yeah. So I think you like lock arms. I don't know. I'm not about to say anything that
I'm
I
about to
don't want to
say
get it wrong.
you don't have a freaking
It's
clue.
scary
Hold on,
how identical these logos are, though.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, it's. But here's the thing about court cases, in my understanding, which is like none. The person with the most money is going to win the case, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean,
All right,
it's hilarious.
This
They're
is
just
what
like, oh, that's a cool name.
this is what Google's got on roller derby. Roller derby is a roller skating contact sport played by 2 teams of 15 members.
Contact.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Roller derby is played by approximately 1,250 amateur leagues worldwide, mostly in the United States.
Shocker.
Equipment: roller skates, helmet, knee pads, elbow pads, wrist guards, mouth guard. Leo Seltzer invented it, and 15 on the roster, up to 5 on the track during each. They call them jam. During each jam.
Tell us the purpose of this game.
And how do you explain roller derby? Oh, there's a video. Oh, can we get a video on here?
Just tell us what the object of the game is.
What is the purpose of roller? The objective of roller derby are relatively simple. Sorry, illiterate, can't read. To score points. The team with the most points at the end of the game wins. Each team fields a point scoring skater, a jammer, whose objective is to lap as many opposing skaters as possible.
So it's a
little what do they call it? The sprints where you got the line.
Indian run.
Yeah, the Indian where you.
Those are terrible.
Yeah, those are horrible. Sorry, I just had a mini stroke trying to.
I think we need to organize a little Diamonds in the Rough rollerblading or roller derby tournament. That'd be sick.
Absolutely.
Spring training, we get a raised roller derby tournament going. We have a draft. We have a Diamonds in the Rough sponsored roller derby tournament.
We can't get players. We freaking the team.
All right, we advertise it at a spring training game, and we get people from the crowd.
Awesome.
It's a Diamonds in the Rough sponsored roller derby. We got to find a place to hold it.
But if you read the report, they said they offered them like a pretty low amount of money.
It was. I think the baseball team offered them less than 10,000. It was a 4-digit number. So it was at max $9,999. That's what they offered.
I just can't believe they don't respect roller derby.
You know,
that's a big deal.
When I was growing up and my parents asked me, in 10 years, where do you see yourself? My first answer was a professional baseball player. You told
that to Mike.
Mike,
yeah, I told it to the
Duffy,
interviewer
way back when.
And my second answer was to be the best roller derby player of all time.
Yeah,
I wanted to roll all the derbies.
Where I'm from, you're raised to respect those guys. Here's another one who just recently got on the Who's Slumping list. I didn't tell you about this one. Pole Assassin and the Monkey. Did y'all see that?
No,
I haven't seen this.
No.
Shook, I know you have.
Oh yeah.
What did you say? I can't even understand you.
Pole Assassin and her monkey.
Pole Assassin. No, I've never heard of that.
Texas, was it the strength coach, Shook, or special teams coach?
Yeah. So
his girlfriend has a pet monkey, and it attacked a kid on Halloween.
Well, this goes back in.
Can't be having that.
So he leaves his family for a pole dancer named Pole Assassin, right? Mm-hmm. And Pole Assassin has this pet monkey that performs in her acts, right? And Pole Assassin's monkey just went absolutely nuts.
They said they had to pry its jaws off the kid. I hope the kid's okay, but that's and
I mean, keep your monkey caged up when the kids are coming to the door.
Yeah, it's
quit
simple monkey training.
Around.
There it is. There's a Snell joke.
Keep the monkey in the cage. All right. Nobody gets hurt. There's no more monkeying around.
Yeah, and so that's and the biggest person who was glad that news came out was my honorable mention. Who's slumping? Dan Mullen. Just to get that out there. Dan Mullen is big time slumping.
This guy, man, Dan Mullen just infuriates me.
He should. I mean, as a Florida State fan, you should love him. He outwardly said it's not recruiting time.
Well,
as Georgia flips their top 2 commits.
Yeah, what's crazy to me too is Florida State, and if this doesn't change this year, like I don't know what to do. Florida State has lost. Dan Mullen has not lost to Florida State as an assistant. I mean, he got one game as the head coach, but like the state of, I mean, I'm not going to get on a rant, but that guy, man, that guy.
All right, here's something for you, Cole. I was gonna bring this up in our in episode 1 when you and I were talking, but never really got there. So as everybody knows, he's a huge Georgia Bulldog fan. So got a little game for you. We keep it PG on here, so we'll say date, marry, kill, and you have to choose between the Falcons, Dogs, and the Hawks.
It's pretty easy at the moment. The Falcons are an embarrassment to the city. So I'm going to marry the Dogs, date the Hawks because they are awesome. And I will kill the Falcons and never watch them again.
Fair enough.
I love Matt Ryan, though. Matt Ryan, you are my hero. Please come on the show.
If the Falcons were to move out of Atlanta, where are you sending them?
Probably Minsk, Russia.
I'm sending them to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and just let them join the CFL.
It's just it's so frustrating. I'm not even, like you said, I'm not going to start ranting about that. But go Dogs! Like, yeah, facts. I think
what you got on the college football rankings?
I mean, we're number 1, and Bama gets a pass. Shocker.
Here's what I don't understand. Group of fives. Granted, they play nobody.
There you go.
Granted, the group of fives play nobody, but like it's unreal how much disrespect they get.
Yeah, well, poor Cincinnati. I mean, they have the second best win in the country.
No. You can't. I don't even care about. I'm an Illinois fan, so I have zero bias.
We had a good time watching the.
I have watched Cincinnati play when they beat Notre Dame. Impressed. I thought IU was going to be decent. They're horrible. They have played.
Don't do this.
Too many close games. No, I don't.
You bet them every week. You bet them every week. You bet their team total every week.
Yeah, but they lost it for me, so I refuse.
Oh, this is the easiest bet ever made. Take Cincinnati over 48. Dude.
Yeah,
they by themselves.
For 4 weeks it was the easiest bet I made. Then they screwed me, so I'm done.
Cincinnati has the second best win.
They're dead to me.
Anyway, that was Who's Slumping of the Week. We got a few more segments on the horizon. I can't wait for Mondays. A little in a pickle. With snow. We got.
Be ready. Yeah, I'm gonna twist your mind like nobody's twisted your mind.
All right. Well, we'll get you on to the interview. We had a lot of time, or a good time, I should say. Interviewing Emerson Hancock. Had a lot of good stories. Throw back to the college days. Always good to feel young again.
All-American person. Emerson Hancock, number 1 overall, number 1 pick of the first round in overall people.
100%. All right. We'll see y'all again on Monday. Hope you enjoy the interview.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Headed down to the neon lights, it's where I want to be, because I'm just trying to make it.
You're listening to the Diamonds in the Rough podcast.
I'm just trying to make it.
Powered by Prospects Live.
All right, now we welcome on my good friend, Emerson Hancock. He was the second best pitcher that Georgia's had in the last few years. Big E, how's it going?
Fellas, appreciate you having me on. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, well, we had to get the high-profile guys out first. We had to get those guys on, get a steady stream of fans in. So we called it, obviously, the big guns quick.
Yeah, I hope this one hits the record views for the first episode. How about that?
Well, it might.
I think you got a good chance.
Yeah, you've got a real good shot. Put an interview with Emerson Hancock on there is a lot better than Cole and Chanel back and forth. So, Big E, what's going on these days? Where are you at right now?
Thunder, I'm in Peoria, Arizona for high performance camp right now. It's been going on about 3 weeks. A little bit of lifting, a little bit of throwing, a little bit of education on everything. I get done November 19th, and I get to come home for the off season. So I've been out here for a little bit. I came out here after my last start in Arkansas, and man, the weather's just now getting great. I've been playing a lot of golf. Yeah, weather's great. Golf courses are sweet. Not a bad time to be out here in Arizona.
How's your golf game? Any good?
Pretty. I don't know. Thunder.
What we shoot? Mid-80?
No, Chanel, he beats you by 10 or 12 strokes.
That's just not true.
He's
I play up to my competition.
This makes me sick to say, but Emerson is pretty good on the course.
I had 279s since being out here. We played a lot 2-on-2 scramble. Me and Matt Brash have had a pretty good team going on. We make a pretty solid little duo, but solo's not been bad. Driver's been letting me down a little bit, but that's how it goes every time I play.
You got the new clubs though. New clubs, been swinging it well.
New clubs, gotten them broken in, used to them.
What you swinging?
I got this P790 irons, the mill grind wedges, the 2.0s, Maverick driver, Maverick hybrid, and then a Cobra 3 wood. And man, nice. I love them.
I got some Mavericks. I like them. Nice clubs. What's best part of your game?
I think anything 120 and in. For some reason, I really like that distance. I can put it up on the dance floor. Thunder would say my putting could get better, but if we can lock down that dance floor,
yeah, he's pretty nails from that pretty good distance. So let's just get right into it. So this is your first, like me, this is your first full year in the minors, and so what 2 stops did you make?
So I started in Everett, which is high A, the Everett Aqua Sox, and when I got there, it was about as close to a super team as it could have possibly been. I was there throughout, I think maybe toward the end of July, beginning of August. Then I went up to AA, Arkansas, in Little Rock, another really good team there. And then here we are. But man, that Everett team, both teams were really fun to play on. And we got a really good group of guys.
Tell us a little bit about Everett. Like, what's the city like around there?
Yeah, the city was cool. It was it had some really nice places around it. Like Linwood was a really nice area. The city of Everett itself was cool. The park was really, really different. It was all turf with like the right center was about 340-ish, 345 with just a big scoreboard.
That's dangerous.
And yeah, I mean, it was just a tall fence around, and I mean, people would pepper that right center gap and just hammer it over there.
You ain't got to worry about that if Chanel's hitting. He ain't going right center.
Nah, I can't pull a ball save my life.
Yeah,
I'll go backside.
You shift. You opposite shift, Schnelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you're in Everett for a little bit of the year, and then you get called up to Arkansas. Tell us what that's like, because I didn't get to experience that this year. I know Chanel has once being called up to the next affiliate. So how does that go? Do you see it coming? Do you know it's going to like coming soon? And then tell us what that's like when you get in the office and stuff.
Yeah, so pretty good story. So we actually had a couple of guys go ahead and they were getting promoted. We knew that we're starting to move guys up. There were no rumors about who was next or, you know, if you make another couple of good starts. There was none of that. So I remember we were in Spokane. I threw pretty well. I think it was like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Got around to my bullpen day, threw my bullpen, went in to see our athletic trainer, just ask him, you know, what time can I come into the facility tomorrow? Because Monday's the off day. And he was like, hey, just go talk to Skip. He wouldn't give me an answer or anything. So I felt like something was up there. I go into Skip's office. All the coaches were in there. And then it was pretty cool. Just hear him say, hey man, like you're getting promoted, you're going to AA. And, Skip comes in the clubhouse, makes an announcement. Everyone just kind of, giving you hugs, congratulating you and moving on. And then after that, it was crazy. You're on a flight the next morning, you're getting out of there, you're traveling, you're meeting up with the team in Arkansas, and you walk in, you talk to the clubby, you get new clothes, and you're on a new team with new guys. So, but definitely something that was really, really cool. I appreciate those guys for doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you said that nobody really knew who was getting called up next. I feel like, at least in Charleston, every week we were like, oh, if this guy has a good week, he's going up. Like I kept telling Cole literally the week before he got hurt, I was like, oh, you have a good outing. You're up next. Like we had a couple guys, or we had John Doxakis get called up, and then like Taj Bradley was throwing well, and everybody's talking like these guys got to get called up soon. I just think it's funny. Like you just hear the rumors with all the guys. Nobody knows anything, but
Not a
everybody's
clue.
just like, oh yeah, he's got it.
Yeah. And the cool thing is like sometimes like when you come up to the park, like we got to see a couple position players get called up. You know, they kind of get scratched out of the lineup, and you're kind of looking around. You're like, okay, like we think this guy's going. You don't really know for sure, but then Skip comes in. Hey, this guy the AA or whatever, and it's like that's cool. Like that part to see someone get moved up, to see kind of the guys congratulate, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and another aspect of that is like I assume they want it to be like the easiest transition they can get. So they're trying to find an off day where the team's going to be at home, so you can come right into the locker room. I know Chanel was talking about when he got called up. He jumped right on the bus when he got there, but that was back before they did the 6-game series and stuff. That could probably make it pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. How did that go?
Yeah, so I was in Princeton. So it was 2019. I had a knee surgery, got to Princeton late, played pretty well in Princeton. Actually, a funny story about me getting called up there. I was having real bad shin splints, and our coach or our manager at the time was like he was a hardo, so like everybody was kind of timid around him. And I had a good relationship with him. Like I just tried to like bust my ass and not really like just do my thing and not have to have too many confrontations with him. But he came in and he was like, "Why are you here early?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just getting some treatment done for my shins. Just trying to get ready." It was later in the week, so like it'd been a long week of playing, and I think I played like 18 games straight, and so I was hurting. And he was like, "All right, well, when you're done with treatment, come see me." And I was like, "All right." And so I walked in his office, and he was like, "How many games have you played in a row?" And I was like, "I don't know, like probably 2-3 weeks." And he was like, "All right." He was like, "Hold on, let me look at my game log." He was like, 1, 2, started counting. It was like 16 or something. He was like, "All right, I'm giving you the off day today." And I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "I'm good to play." Like I was like, because I was playing pretty well. So I was like, "I don't want an off day. Like I want to stay hot, like kind of keep going." And I was like, "All right, but like if you need me, like I'm ready to go." And he was like, "All right, sounds good." He was like, "But we won't need you here at all. Like you're going to Bowling Green." So it was really cool experience. They kind of play games with you, and it's like gets your heart racing a little bit. So yeah. I drove 6 hours that day, and then got there like in like the 7th inning of the Bowling Green game. They got done. We packed up our stuff, got on a bus, and I was on a bus for 10 hours to Fort Wayne or something like that that night. So,
Emerson, we were talking about the last pod how when you go on a road trip, you're kind of at the mercy of whatever is around the hotel. Like that's what you're eating for the week. How was your league in Everett and then in Arkansas? Did y'all have good places around when you went on the road trips, or what? What are you eating?
Yeah, we had good spots. If you didn't have anywhere close, DoorDash came in helpful too.
Yeah,
I know some guys would. Yeah,
especially out west.
You got to get the Dash Pass. You got to do it.
It is. It's a big purchase.
You got to invest that. But I mean, that's part of it. I mean, that's part of the lifestyle and getting done late and going to the field at 2 or 2:30. Sometimes you just got to figure it out. So that makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, let's throw it back a little bit. Obviously, we both went to Georgia. We got some pretty good stories there. Tell us, so in high school when you're going through the draft, how many different meetings did you have with these area guys?
My senior year of high school, I think I might have met with a little over half the teams.
Yeah.
It was nothing serious. I think the guys really just wanted to check in, just get to know you. And, that time, my senior year, like I really didn't have a whole lot of interest of going ahead and starting because I was just, in my mind, I was kind of like, I'm not really ready for that yet. Like I'm ready to go to school. And I mean, just as the season went on and it got closer, I remember taking like another visit to Georgia. They were playing Mississippi State that weekend. And they ended up, winning. And I was like, man, like this would be cool to be a part of this. And that's just kind of probably in May where I was just like, man, I want to go to school. Like, starting professional now would be great, but we wanted to go to school, didn't we? I mean, we wanted to have that to, one day take our kids back and our families and be united and just be like, look at kind of what we did. So
go to Emerson Hancock Field.
I know they need to rename the bullpen after you. I never knew what the bullpen
was
true.
Like. Yeah, that's true. You get try to make Emerson warm up mid-game, he wouldn't know what to do. He'd be out there chopping his feet.
There'll be some guys get a kick out of that one, huh?
Shoot. Yeah, Emerson needs his long toss, his long stretch, little training room action.
I was really close, man. My freshman year, we were playing Troy. A good buddy of ours, Ryan Webb, was on the mound, and Coach Kenny tells me to put the cleats on and go warm up, and never went in. So that's as close as we got, you know?
So I was asking about the meetings in high school because Georgia did a really good job of helping us out and getting those meetings done in 1 or 2 days. So we'd come in, and after practice, we'd have 15-minute intervals set up with the teams. And so all the teams would come. Obviously, me and Emerson are trying to knock out all these teams in 2 or 3 days. So Emerson, who was the A scout at the time? You remember his name?
Jamel Spearman, right?
Yeah, I remember Jamel. I don't remember his last name, but tell us what he asked you and tell us your answer. You remember?
I don't remember. Remind the folks. The folks.
Yeah, well, I do remember. Emerson, he told me this. Emerson went in before me. He had his meeting, and then I come in, and he says, "So, fight breaks out in the field. Who's the last one out of the dugout?" And I was like, "Heck, man, I don't know. I don't remember what I said." He said, "Well, I just asked your boy Emerson." He said it'd be him. What did he say to that?
I think he was kind of caught off guard. He kind of wanted to do the reverse on me. You know, he kind of wanted to be like, well, who's he going to say? And I think I said, I was like, I'll take Thunder to go lead us out there first. You know what I mean? Shoot. I was like, I'll probably be the guy in the back, chatting up conversation with somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, look at these guys.
You kind of halfway breaking it up.
Yeah, just be a little peacekeeper. Yeah,
I like it.
So,
all right, Emerson. So, one of the first days you're on campus when you go to Georgia, they'll bring the freshmen out in the summer, and you kind of go through. They kind of break you in a little bit. You're working out every morning. It's pretty much the hardest workouts you've done up to that point in your life. They're getting you prepared. And tell us about the first day conditioning out there and on the field.
You got some gold on me today, huh?
A little bit.
I love it though. I mean, I love this story because it was. So we're out there running poles. It's July. It's a Friday lift. We just had a circuit before with probably just like nonstop 4 or 5 exercises for 2 or 3 rounds for like an hour. At that time, like you don't really know like how Coach Gerhardt is or anything, and he's trying to teach you what this is about and what you're trying to go through. So he's like, everybody race this out to the field. We're going to run today. So we're going out there, and me, Cheney, Jordan Dubberly, the Tate twins, and we're about to just get smoked. We got poles. You had to get down there in a certain amount of time. He was real strict on the rest. If you don't make it, then everyone else has to. The rep doesn't count. So if we're running 8, we get down there and someone doesn't make it, you got to keep running until you get to 8. So I think we get like 3 or 4, and I just had like enough. I remember just getting past that last one, and I was like, this is not it. Like, this is not for me right now. And
I should have
to make it even better, like Strickland is watching us, right? And like he doesn't really know me. Like he just watches us condition and stuff. And I'm just like Gerhardt, I can't go anymore. And Strickland gives us this big talk at the end about how we can't do that. You're letting the team down. And I mean, you talk about one of the lowest days. It was that's at the list of it.
Yeah.
And I know Gerhardt loves to talk about it, and Strickland loves to bring it up to anybody who has conversation. But I mean, it's kind of cool because I went from kind of that guy of not really liking that kind of stuff to loving it.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like getting crushed in the weight room. At one point I was like, man, I don't even know if I can do this. I don't even know if I want to do this. And it was just kind of like a switch where it was like, like I can either like quit and go home, or I can just keep kind of pushing and see where this goes. And I ended up loving it. I ended up loving the whole aspect of it. And I mean, but that's where you got to give credit to like people like Gerhardt. I mean, like to push you like that. And to now he's like a guy that you always want to talk about things. I'm always asking him for advice. So
yeah,
cool story, but yeah.
Because I remember when I got there, and Strickland obviously told me that story. He was laughing about it, but he said, "But now I'm telling you, he's a beast in the weight room." And so when I'm getting in there and I'm working out with you and stuff, and like it's just tough to keep up with. Like you were
you're throwing up weight, you're getting after it in conditioning, and like once you go through something like that, it helps you, and I think that's where something like college does prepare you a lot for going through minor league baseball. Is you know your limits, and I'm sure Snell, you probably had different experience with that. There's always a point where something has to flip.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you guys had like a pretty like good core group, or like you had the whole team to kind of go through stuff like that with. Whereas like in high school, like usually if you get drafted out of high school, you're one of like a very like big area. Like there's nobody in my area that really got picked. So I was the only one kind of going through. There were other guys talking to teams and stuff like that, but nobody going through it kind of like I was. So like I didn't have anything to bounce stuff off, or like to bounce off anybody. Like you guys, like kind of what was it like having each other, like Tucker Bradley, guys like that who you played with in college, like to go through that first pro ball experience? Because I got done with my first season and I didn't have anybody to really go talk to about it. Like up until this year, because you were draft eligible last year as a sophomore, right, Cole? So this would have been technically our classes.
This is our draft
year. Yeah. So this year's the first year we'd have to like talk to anybody our age about the draft process and stuff like, and like first pro season, I'm 3 years in. So like, what was it like for you guys having everybody to kind of go through and bounce stuff off of and kind of like share that experience with?
I mean, it was nice. I mean, for me and Cole to get drafted in the same year, like to just have someone, and the better yet, he gets drafted by the Padres and we're at the same complex, for the first for instructs. So it's like just having someone you're familiar with, it's like, this is huge. And then of course you had the people older than us. I mean, you had Krista Fack, you had Aaron Shunk, Kevin Smith, Curry, a lot of other older guys that we got to play with, and it helps huge. But now it's also cool to like kind of see guys, like Tucker, just go into pro ball, a new environment, and he's just himself. Like he grinds, he plays hard, and he's just a really, really good player. So, I mean, Cole, I know you got more to add on that, but
yeah, it was. I mean, even like I was talking about when we were going through all the meetings and stuff, it was just nice to know that like everybody was doing the same thing, and you had a group of guys there all working to the same goal. You kind of cut up about the meetings you had and stuff. It just made it a lot easier because, when you're in high school and they come into your house, you're 17, 18 years old, you don't really know how to – it's your first business meeting and it's your first interview, and you're 17 and you're interviewing for an unbelievable job and life-changing stuff.
Yeah, and you have like an advisor who's trying to not do too much.
Yeah,
you can't he's going to get in trouble if he's too involved. And then you have your parents who are like, how involved should I be? Like, I remember my parents always being like, should we just have you sit at the table and have the meeting? Like, we designated one day for meetings for me, and every Monday would have one or two guys come in, and I'd have a meeting with the team, and they were always torn, like, should we be in here, like, to help him out, or should we just let him do it himself? So, like, you're kind of navigating it, and we had nobody in my family go through it, so, like, they didn't really know what to do. It was just me and them, and trying to figure out how to navigate it. But I mean, I said it last episode, I wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, it was the best decision I made signing. Like, I would not have done well in college or anything like that. I don't think this whole school aspect isn't for me. So, although I come off as a genius, I'm not.
And that's what makes it cool though, right? Is because you said, school's not for me. Well, like, I needed school. Like, I needed to go mature, and I needed to go learn, about working hard, about making sacrifices and learning those things. But it's cool because, each person's got their own route, and they got to do what's best for them. And ultimately people do that.
Yeah. Well, being a syrup maker in high school probably didn't prepare you too much.
That's tough. That is tough. Yeah.
Snell's fascinated by the syrup making.
Yeah, I'm a big I throw back to like looking up where people are from when we're doing the meetings. So I was doing some recon on is it Cairo?
Cairo, come on.
Cairo. All right, Cairo, the syrup makers, home of Jackie Robinson. How's it feel to be the second best baseball player out of Cairo?
And Georgia.
Yeah, that's tough. But man. I mean that community is awesome though. I mean, the way they rally around like high school football or around the people there, like the support I've had from people since I was 5 or 6 years old still takes me to this day. I mean, that's what makes those small towns like just awesome, is the people and how much they support their people, how much, like I'm proud like to be from that little town of Cairo, Georgia, you know what I mean? Where baseball isn't the biggest priority. We're mostly known for football. Like my dad was a football coach. Like he really didn't know a whole lot about baseball, but that's what that community is special. It's cool.
Yeah, and I mean, you can tell that. Like, I feel like I'm from Indianapolis, and it's a big city, but I went to a private high school, and our community is super small, and I can definitely relate to that. I definitely wouldn't have been able to get through it at a signing at high school without the community. So we have a real tight knit community, and so I can relate to that. It's huge when you're going through like decisions and stuff like that to have a community there to support you no matter what decision you make.
I will say, though, that community turns into draft experts around the time of the draft, though, don't they?
Yeah. And they don't know what they're talking about. They're like, oh, you got drafted by the Rays? All right, well, I'm gonna go to a Rays game. I'm like, well, you ain't going to find me there. I'll be in Fort Charlotte on a backfield.
So we've been leading up to this a little bit, but let's talk about, because your first season in pro ball, let's start with draft day. I mean, after your sophomore season, your numbers were insane. It was one of the best seasons I've seen. I was glad I got to be there to witness it. And so you kind of knew going into junior year that you set yourself up pretty nice. And obviously the season gets canceled. So what happened from the time the season got canceled to the draft? There was about 3 or 4 months there.
I mean, I think just like most people, I just went home. Like everyone really didn't know what to expect. I went home, continued to try to work out, continued to try to throw, but like at that point, nobody knew what was going to happen. I mean, there were questions around, is the draft going to happen? Are these guys even going to get a chance to go about? I mean, you were going through the same things. Yeah. I mean, we all had these questions of like what's next? And so the draft got close. I remember them kind of scheduling it, making it in place and making the 5-round deal. Like I was like, okay, at least we got a date, at least we can look forward to something. And then draft day came around, and probably one of the most anxious days I think I've gone through. I remember waking up and I was like, all right, I got to go play golf because like I need a chunk of this day to kind of just get my mind away. I remember you texting me, right? You checked in and said, hey, love you tonight. Whatever happens, you're proud of you. I mean, it was just, it's like texts like from you and from other people like throughout that day. It was like, okay, like this is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And I remember sitting there, didn't really know, what team it was going to be, didn't really know where, but got to 5th. And whenever the Blue Jays were on the call, I got a call from my agent saying, Seattle's going to take you here at 6th. And just pretty much overwhelmed with emotion. Like that was cool for me because I was surrounded by, a lot of the people who had been there with friends, with coaches. There's just moments like that you'll never forget kind of things like that. I remember started crying. I really couldn't talk a whole lot. We had like a little bit of a celebration. Like I tried to like tell people, thank you for coming and everything. And words were hard to form, but that was my draft day. That was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, you can plan for it all you want, but until you get that call and you're about to be called, it's different for sure. And then you were fortunate enough, like I was, to be invited to the alternate site. And I know a lot of people don't know much about what happened at the alternate site, what went down. It was kind of hush hush. But what was y'all's like? What was the daily routine at y'all's? Where was it? Just run through what happened there.
Yeah, so I mean, as soon as I got drafted, we were kind of in contact with the Mariners, and they said we don't really know what's next, right? We'll kind of keep you guys in the loop, and the next thing you know, we go to summer camp. And summer camps at T-Mobile. And I mean, my first day as a Mariner, like I'm right next to Kyle Seager and Kyle Lewis. And it's like, okay, like this is cool. Like this is really cool. So we had the camp for 3 weeks. Then we went to alt site in Tacoma, which is AAA. And it was really scrimmages. It was really just any type of work that we could get the minor leaguers along with the guys who are kind of floating up and down with the big league team, just to keep them sharp. that was it for really 10 weeks.
So would y'all scrimmage pretty much every day?
I think it got to the point where maybe 3 or 4 times a week. There were some days where they would let us come in, get our work in. You know, the guys would take BP and just call it a day. But for the most part, it was, you know, get these guys some live ABs. Let's see live arms as much as we can and just go from there.
Yeah, and then like you said, that was the craziest part. You know, I got a sign, and I think it was 1st of July, and then it's like, all right, well, you're going to stay here, be at the alternate site, and I'm in a locker room with all those guys. And it's like, dang, like this is happening, you know? Like this is the same guys I was watching on TV this time last year, and I'm in a locker room with them now. But that was, I don't know about you, but like I said on the last pod, that was one of the best experiences for me as a pitcher that I've had. Just, you know, being around big league guys, seeing how they operate, seeing what they do. That definitely helped me out a lot.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I think it's crazy that you guys' first introduction to pro ball was like that. Like my first introduction was, hey, go throw on this, and you're out on the backfield in the GCO with. Like, I didn't see one big leaguer.
Yeah.
no chance of seeing a big leaguer. I was playing noon games in 107-degree humidity.
No, it
was raining for 30 minutes before the game, and there were puddles all over the field. And next thing you know, it was dry and you're playing.
Yeah, it was a spoiled intro for sure. I mean, it was a cool experience. We worked hard, but it was just being around those guys, being able to go watch the game. It was super cool. Big E, we appreciate you coming on, man. It was a lot of fun.
That's all we got. We're not even going to talk Georgia football.
Well, now that you bring it up,
How about them?
How about?
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, Shook. I think Shook has something for you.
Yeah. So, you kind of hit on it earlier, you know, with the super team in Everett, the big time talent Arkansas had. Obviously from a fan's perspective, like watching prospects and everything, you know, the Julio Rodriguez, the Noelvi Martes. What's it like playing around those guys, man? Like that's got to be like when you're pitching and you got Noelvi behind you, you got Julio behind you got Julio providing you run support. Like that's got to be nuts.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. And I mean, as deep as we are with the position guys, our pitching is really, really good. I mean, I don't even want to start naming people because I'll probably leave somebody out. But like when you get to see the guys the arms that we have, and you get to see them pitch, and you get to throw with them every day, you kind of get to lift with them and work out with them, kind of like we're doing now. I mean, we're going to be really good because we got the arms, and not only that, like I say it all the time, like they're good players, but they're great people. Like all of us get along well. Like we love to hang out with each other. I know being in this camp, I've spent the most time with some of these guys outside of the field than really all season. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to keep watching these guys play, but those guys are special. We got some really, really good ball players.
Yeah, for sure. One last thing, and I'll leave you with this. So I've got my FSU shirt on today. Not a good showing against the Tigers yesterday or Saturday, but, you know, we'll bounce back this week. Anyway,
Unbelievable cover, though, by Clemson.
Yeah. Brutal game we play. Brutal game we play is my favorite quote.
Yeah, I like that. That is pretty good.
Good teams win, great teams cover.
There you go.
That's right. But so the first time I got to see Cole pitch live, and Emerson obviously pitch live in a Georgia uniform, was in the regional. And I've got a crazy story about this. So the way that Georgia's ballpark is set up, so you've got kind of the upper stands, and then you've got the lower stands like near the dugout, and then you've got this concourse walkway. And I'm going down the concourse to use the bathroom or something, and Florida State had just scored, and it's like I'm walking by, and this big old dude, like probably 6'8", 6'9", probably about 450 pounds, is like leaning over the rail, and I'm like his mouth is like on my ear, and he's like just going nuts and like going off, and I'm like, holy cow, like how is Emerson able to pitch in this? Like I'm about to literally hyperventilate, and I'm not even wearing a uniform. But that was really my first introduction, and it's probably not a great introduction into, what Georgia baseball had, but I mean, a great run you guys had, from, the dominant arms, the good bats. Your times in Athens, I know, are probably some of the best times of your life up to this point, but like, just talk a little bit about that, some good times you had there.
I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to make Thunder talk about it too. Man, it was special because my freshman year, I kind of got to see a little bit of what they had been struggling with before we kind of started turning things around, right? I'd kind of see what the guys were talking about. But we had such good leadership that year, and those guys that were freshmen the year before us, like you had that group that just had experience and they were ready to go as sophomores. And about, I don't know when, but we just started playing well. And you just kind of saw the environment just shift. Each weekend, there'd be a little bit more fans in the stands. Those Saturdays and Sundays, those games would be packed. And it was like, okay, like this is kind of cool. Like this is kind of us, turning this page. And, we have the national seed that year. The regional doesn't go the way we want, but I mean, it was so cool to see that change, the change in culture, the change in the energy around like Georgia baseball, and then like just the standard of it. Where the standard now is like we're going to be a top 16. Like we want to host a regional. We want to be a top 8. Like we want to play to Omaha. And, I want to let Thunder talk about it too, because I mean, my sophomore year, his freshman year, that was a special team. Like just what we did, how much fun we had. I mean, talk about it, Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most fun I've ever had playing baseball that season as a whole. It was incredible. We had such a good team, won so many games. It was just the whole process too. Like we talked about with the conditioning, you work so hard and you're doing it all together the whole time, all together throughout the off season, all together throughout the lead up to the season. And then once it gets there, it's just awesome. And like Emerson said, we're packing out the stands for the first time ever at Georgia. It was a really, really cool experience. But this, I will tell you my favorite story of that year. And I'll probably tell this till I die. So me and Emerson were roommates every road trip. Emerson's a psycho. He'll bump up the AC to 74 degrees and wear a sweatshirt. And on Thursday nights, it was his. He's pitching the next day. You got it, man. We weren't sleeping like that on Friday night. It was miserable. But anyway,
he's sleeping out in the hallway on Thursdays.
No, he's just gonna freeze. He's wearing a sweatshirt already. Psycho. But anyway, we go to the SEC tournament. We're fired up for the SEC tournament. We're a top 4 seed. We played really good in the regular season. We're like, hey man, we win this thing. We might be the number 1 overall seed. Like we're set. And so we get there, and Emerson's not my roommate, and I'm like, what the heck? And he wasn't on the bus or not. It was just weird. It was like he's getting freaking police escort or something. So I call him and I'm like, dude, what's going on with you right now? He's like, dude, I'm sick. Like we're trying to keep on the DL, like they put me in my own room. I'm just going to try to tough it out. And I'm like, I'm all right, man, whatever. And so we won the first 2 games, so we got a bye, and we were set up, man. We were set up. We had Tony going the next game and Emerson in the championship. We were like, hey, we're about to win this thing. Well, Emerson was sick and he hadn't been throwing that much, so they wanted him to throw a few innings against Ole Miss in the semis, and then Tony to come in. Well, Emerson's throwing and he's doing fine, and I'm charting pitches. So I'm sitting beside our pitching coach. He's calling the pitches. I'm charting them, and you have to know our pitching coach. He's very, how would you describe him? Give me a rundown of Coach Kenny.
He's the most calm, not calm coach there is.
Yeah,
that's how when things are going south.
Nonchalant.
He's not going to throw anything. He's not going to do. I mean, he's just going to be cool. But on the inside, it's like
his emotions inside are dancing always. But he's cold on the outside. So he's sitting there and he's tensed out. He's not really saying much. He's like, and we got the walkie-talkie in the SEC. He's like, all right, change up, Moose. Mason calls change up, and we used to swipe in college. So if you didn't like the pitch, it was called. If it was a 1, you wanted a 3, swipe up twice, boom, go to 3, pitch. So there's no shaking and stuff. Call the change up, Emerson swipes, whatever. He let us swipe, whatever. So he's like, all right, Moose, let's go back to it. Change up. Emerson swipes again. And he's like, Moose, is that a changeup? And Mason looks over, shakes his head no. He's like, all right, we're throwing it right here. Changeup. Emerson swipes again. He looks at me. He takes off his sunglasses. He says, we're about to have a length measuring contest right here in the SC tournament, aren't we? He said, all right, we can do that. Change up, Mason, change up. Emerson's, how many times did you swipe?
I got to be 5 or 6 times. More than maybe
it was more than that. It was more than that. I mean, it was pushing 10. 10, and you got out of the inning, man, and he just jacked you up. And he gave us a good talk. He made me come in there and listen to it.
He brought you into it.
Yeah, but what he said was right. And I think and Coach Kenny he helped me and Emerson out tremendously. And
did you end up throwing a changeup or not?
No, we didn't.
Never.
Not one time. I knew it was my last inning probably. I knew we were getting toward the pitch count. And I was just to the point where I was like, all right, I know this is going to be it. Like, let me just roll the dice here and take my chances in the dugout, you know?
And yeah, he jacked
That's
him up.
Electric.
But that's what he was telling us. And I think this is a good lesson for pro ball too, is you're not always going to have your best stuff. And Emerson, for him, he was throwing it was falling out of the zone, but it was still effective. And that's what Coach Kenny was trying to tell him was it was effective in the sense it changed speed, changed the eyes. He could come back with a fastball and he could play off of it. And he was just telling us, like, you don't have to have your best stuff to get guys out. And that really has carried weight with me as I went into pro ball and stuff, because you've pitched so much, you're not going to have your best stuff all the time. But as long as you're competing with the stuff that we got, you're still going to get outs.
Right. And if you can find a way to make that adjustment and like to recognize it early, I mean, that's the name of the game. To sit there and be like, all right, I don't like today. I might not have it right here in this first inning, but if I can use, these warm-up pitches and I can just get a better feel for it, maybe I'll make an adjustment and now we're rolling with it. But that tournament was fun. That was, I think you always said that was probably the most fun trip of the year.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
It was awesome. Just to stay at the same hotel as the other teams. I mean, the police escorts there and back. I mean,
sick.
Yeah, that was cool, man.
God, I'll never forget him taking off those sunglasses and looking at me. We're about to have a length measuring contest right here in the middle of the SC tournament. Emerson just tearing a hole in his jersey, swiping. All right, that was a lot of fun. Like you said, Dogs football's rolling. Hope we keep rolling.
Yeah.
Last question. Hold on. It's Halloween. It's Halloween. Go to Halloween candy.
Does a Snickers bar count?
Yeah, it counts.
Yes.
Okay.
I did be something
take that.
lame.
That's such an Emerson answer, dude.
All right, E. Well, hopefully get to see you back soon. I'm in Athens now. We'll catch a game or something. Always good talking to you. And Mariners fans, hope that fired you up. I'm sure some of y'all listening, him talking about the team. You're getting a really good guy and a really good player. I can promise you that.
We're the hottest podcast on the internet right now. So
like and subscribe.
Yeah, come on.
Like and subscribe.
Tell
Emerson, where can they find you on social media?
They can find me at Emerson_Hancock on Instagram or Emerson Hancock _ on Twitter.
Right on. Well, it was a pleasure.
You'll see the blue check mark by his name.
Yeah, look for the blue check mark. Don't follow the fan pages. You want to follow him. I'm sure there's plenty of them.
All right,
I've had a blast.
I appreciate it. Hope all's good, and we will see y'all later.
Guys, appreciate it again. It was a lot of fun.